Hello and welcome back to our Let's Play of the Tokugawa campaign. So I'm once more your host, Commodore Perry, and we'll go ahead and get going with this after checking on the votes and whatnot. More or less decided that basically it'd probably be best just to go back and start once more with the at the point where we last left off on the Let's Play proper, just chalk things up to a learning experience on our last attempt and get things done right. So, with that, basically, we'll just do a quick recap of where we're at. Right now, we are in the process of recruiting a few more units, as well as keeping the main bulk of our army hold up in our fortress and our one province of Mikawa. And more or less, I'm expecting pretty much without fail that Monsieur Oda Nobuhide here is going to see about attacking us once we end the turn. So we got research going, diplomacy's more or less where we need it. We're trading with everyone we can here, except for the Oda and the Kitabatake. And basically, can't really trade with either of them, obviously, so should be able to more or less move with impunity against Owari as soon as we're done with that army of theirs, then turn our attention back towards taking out the Imagawa. So, with that, we're more or less in line with everything, so we'll go ahead in the turn. Probably get straight into battle. And right on cue, here we go. So, looks like they outnumber us by a fair margin. Got equal archer components, and equal in Yari Samurai, but they do have 5 Yari Ashigaru to my 3. They do have the light cavalry, though that's not going to be much of a problem, especially since they have the samurai retainers. So, all in all, in the field battle, I'd feel pretty heavily at a disadvantage, but with the castle, I feel like we shouldn't have too much of a problem. So we'll go ahead and we're going to get this battle underway. Okay, and this setup's always pretty good. As you can see, this red ring here is where the enemy can deploy. That's gonna mean that I only have to worry about attacks on a maximum of 3 fronts, really. So that way, I'll be a little less strain on my Ashigaru units, as they're gonna have to pull double duty to fight off that high of numerical superiority as they do have. Of loading. As I suppose we do wait for that, just going into this, my battle plan for this battle is more or less I'm going to try to deploy my we'll actually go ahead, we'll wait for that till after Daimyo's hopefully rousing speech here.
Tokugawa軍機がはためく様は腰抜けの敵軍をさらに骨抜きにする。見ろ、早くもあいつら川屋を探し始めたぞ。体を張って敵を撃て。ここが我が軍の生命線。ここを破られたら勝利への希望は絶たれる。織田軍を見くびることなかれ。合戦となると奴ら規律も正しく頭も使う。心してかかれ。ここは実にすごいよの。大屋島広しといえどこれにかなう城はないじゃろう。我が軍の力が加わらばその凄さが増すというものじゃ。皆に名門の証見せてしんぜよう。この栄えある勝利は我らのさらなる勲章となる。
Okay, so, anyway, back to, the battle plan. Basically, we're going to go ahead, and I'm just gonna deploy my forces more or less just en masse here towards the center. And, basically, the reason I'm doing this is, as I don't really have enough troops to make a fairly effective spread of my fortress, more or less just gonna deploy towards the middle. That way, when I start the battle, I can more or less shuffle my troops around to get into what would be the best position to take on their forces, once I can see what they're actually going to go ahead and be doing. So, let's go ahead and get this started. Okay, so, looks like their generals and Yari Samurai are coming from this angle, so I'm going to go ahead, deploy my Yari Samurai to counter that. And their Bo Ashigaru are both coming from this side, so we'll move to counter on this side for that as well. Okay, and all of their Yari Ashigaru and their light cavalry are coming from that side, so typically I've seen that the AI seems to like attacking at these corners, so I'm going to put my samurai retainers there, and I'm going to get our Yari Ashigaru onto either side of there, with one guy in reserve to counter as necessary. And we'll move forward one of our generals. Okay, looks like the archery battle's off. And fortunately, considering the number of troops that I do have here, as basically the archery battle's instantaneously mine, more or less. As I get the fortress, they don't in equal numbers. This is more or less just going to be a turkey shoot, it looks like. Same for the... it's going to be a Yari Samurai battle, it looks like. At least I'm fairly confident that's how it should go. Go ahead and move our daimyo closer just to give morale support. Okay, so got the Oda going for our walls now. Hopefully the speed at which they'll be attacking will keep them from gaining an advantage. Going to go ahead, doesn't look like they're going to attack from this side. We'll get these troops off of this wall so we can reinforce when they really start going, which is right about now, so let's get them in. That's that. Okay, that's getting them to go the right direction. Good. Okay, yeah, we're winning fairly decisively here, it looks like, so... okay, let's see what's happening with these samurai. Okay, and look, picked a good time to look in on that, I guess, because they are out of here. Cause a few casualties in their route, but we're not gonna chase them any further. Just get them back on the walls for when their generals feel like, well, moving up like they are right now. Okay, and routed one of their Bo Ashigaru, so now it's 2-1 on that front. Okay, we'll go ahead with these fresh Ashigaru. We're going to pull out these ones, they're a bit depleted. And fortunately, since there's so few units in a general unit, I think my Yari Samurai should be able to take them by themselves with a little bit of inspiration from our beloved daimyo. Okay, alright. Everything is looking pretty good here. And more or less just the light cavalry on this end. Go ahead. And we're actually going to send this general out to attack that Boashigaru unit. When they rout, that'll allow me to wipe them out while they're on the run.
Is in grave danger, my lord!
Okay, alright, so... let's see, this general's routing. Oh. There's one other here. Get to it.
A glorious victory will soon be yours!
Alright, so... as hoped, this hunker down in the fortress really managed to make this pretty easy win for us here. So we're just going to mop up here a bit and just wipe these suckers out. Mainly want to get the generals, that way they can't really get to regroup too terribly well. Let's see.
My lord, their general has fallen! A cutting blow!
Excellent. Okay, let's go up here. And down they go. Alright, so those guys are out. Let's see. Here. Okay, let's make a attempt to clean out those samurai. Since those are... while Yaori samurai I don't think are actually all that good in the long run. They're definitely one of the best units you start out with, so we definitely want to clean that contingent up. Let's go ahead and speed this up as we're just gonna be watching some running here, nothing too exciting, and oof, they're gonna end up in a bad situation here because they turned around. Gonna be caught on both sides. Oof, bad day to be them. Okay, well, suppose we're not being too merciful for that anyway. Alright, so, with that, counts as a close victory, but still a fairly good one in my book, so definitely a good way to start off the fighting. Alright, so we got a close victory there, but lost 244 to their 1,040, so really that was a crushing victory in by my count, so that is very, very good. Alright, so just going through the AI's turns now. Hopefully as time goes on there will be less these little factions to worry about, because it does take forever and a day to get through those. Alright, so with that we got a successful mission. Just completed studying in art. We're gonna go for the Todo Fuken next, just so that we can work towards the terrace farming is my goal, and also want to move towards the School of Shinobi, so that way I can take advantage of our Tokugawa's advantages. So got a new mission here to capture Mii province. Oh, that's nice of them. Okay, so we're going to go ahead with our somewhat replenished army, new troops added to it and whatnot. We're going to go ahead, press the attack here, and make sure our army's as strong as possible, getting our experienced troops reinforced as quickly as I can. And okay, so with that, let's get these guys moving.